Perhaps the greatest miracle that by design is present for us as we face what we must face in this emergence of the new sustainable humankind, mechanized, modernized, and miraculous, if we save ourselves, indeed, miraculous. If there is one miracle that we can begin with, and that is the miracle of the pyramid. The pyramid. Now, in fact, what's going to save us is the fact that this is simply a pyramid scheme. If we think back to the pyramids, for someone like myself, I was trained all my life, for decades in fact, that the pyramids were a place of slavery. In fact, wasn't it near Hanukkah that we would bring out an old movie that showed the enslaved makers of the pyramids? And today, through what is called forensic anthropology, we know this to be, well, it is rebuffed. Today we say we can find the sites of the marketplaces, and what it seems to be is that for the first time amongst native people could either choose to be in the jungle, or they could come into the city where they could learn to be stone cutters, or be full-time cutters of fish and passers on to preparers of fish, and have entire family lifestyles where there are no more toiling on the soil or in the hunt or on the seas. And this was at a time where there were no mechanized versions of any of those three means of supply, so it was a toil indeed. And to be at a boat at sea with no motor, or to hunt against and in places where there are beasts that are easily greater and more powerful and suited for death than you are. Well, so here you are, join the best of them amongst the wild, or the best of them at the pyramid. Why, you say, why is this helpful to us? Aha! Aha! Because he says, remember back to the vision of the pyramid. What went wrong? I'll bet you, this is certainly what is said, people at the pyramid got so excited they were cutting down the forests to get the wood for the firewood to make the white stuff that they put on the sides of the pyramids. So they were running themselves out of nature, and no doubt out of friendly relations with tribal people. If we could go back to the awareness of the utility of nature and allow people to flood, just as in the shape of the pyramid, flood back to plant the trees and tend the trees, they are no longer homeless, they are no longer jobless. And if we just bring them a food supply and an energy supply and a waste diminishment, which ultimately they will provide for themselves through the modern technology of self-composting, which is a bacterial science that we did not have ever at any time in history before. If we can reclaim the wilderness by act of individuals in the wild caring for that wilderness, as once we built pyramids, let us now build the trees, you will find the answer to so many population challenges and imported populations who will, wherever they are planting trees and caring for the new world of nature next door to and surrounding the satellite cities, cared for with new materials used to build those cities. We have to find a way. There's a new bombardment mechanism that allows a change in the makeup of any material, tree leaves and whatnot. Now bombarded energetically, we can allow it to break down in a way that we can use to make materials, or even for burning or for building, that we never could use before. So we'll be able to rechannel our agricultural products into our building products, into our cities, so that we don't have to destroy our world that surrounds us. And sure enough, who knows? During this transition, as many as 60% of the people would choose to be out in nature, helping nature come back to life. What do you pay them? You pay them guaranteed leave to come down in the city, money to send their families, just like the Works program in America so long ago. The emergency is the emergency for the environment, the perishable circumstance of human life. And the methodology, we pay who's here. We allow for temporary unions, we allow for observers, we allow for security circumstances. And the goal is revive this nature and enjoy it. I suggest to you that this is the only way to survive. And if you will look for it, it's the miracle inside the pyramid scheme. I wish you well, wellness in your dream.